hardcore into drugs when I was about 25.
Okay.
So from 25 to 35, about 10 years.
Shit. Okay. So you said it started when you were in high school. Obviously, you smoked weed. I think most teenagers do that. Huff and aerosol. You were prescribed pain pills. What were you prescribed?
Hydrocodone and oxycodone Percocet.
Okay. And you said you sold them. How much did you sell them for when you sold them?
Oh God, I think back then they were like $2 to $5. They wasn't top dollar like they are.
Right. Yeah. People will pay good money for that shit now. Sure. Okay. So for about 10 years, you were heavy into drugs. What was the kicker? What really made you want to step it up from hydrocodones, oxycodone? What did you go to next?
Cocaine.
Okay. How long were you on cocaine, do you think?
Ooh, probably about 2 years, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And then that turned into...
And when the cocaine thing first started, we first got into that because, we got some money, and then I had never touched cocaine. Like, I didn't know nothing about it. I was clueless. Mm-hmm. He's like, we can flip it, make some money. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I'm like, whatever, right. Do your thing. It's because he was wanting to get high, and so...
So you just paid for his habit, basically, by flipping it.
Yeah. And then it got to the point where I'm like, you know what, shit, can't beat them, join them. Right. I'm spending all this money, and which there was a lot of things going on in my life then that I was trying to numb myself from as well. Like it was... I had already been through a crazy amount of shit with my ex-husband and some pretty crazy shit with the current one, but, so yeah, I wanted to numb myself, and at the same time, I ain't gonna pay for some drugs that I'm not gonna get high from. Right. You know what I'm saying? So
I got you.
That's where the whole cocaine come in. And then we, actually he was locked up and my blood called me. He was like, hey, and at the time I was selling Oxy 80s. Mm-hmm. And he was like, hey, you bring me some of those, I got something for you. I'm like, okay, cool. So I roll up and I go in, he's got this line laid out. Oh yeah. I haven't seen no powder for a minute. So, right. Boy, I did that line and I hit my knees. Like, I was like, oh, that's not powder at all. And then,
so what was it?
Meth.
Ah.
And then things changed. We stepped it on up. Pain pills wasn't doing it no more. Right. Cocaine was nowhere to be found. But here's this new shit, and it'll keep you up for 3 days. Oh boy, what I can do in 3 days.
Right.
And there we went.
So pain pills, cocaine, meth. Did you ever do heroin or
I did.
Crack or?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So.
Was it just like anything you could get?
Whatever was accessible, whatever was there, whoever I was getting high with for free that day, whatever they had,
Yeah.
That's who I hung with, whoever had
something. And so I see this a lot in the bonding business. Females have easier access to it for obvious reasons, right? So is that something that ever came between you and husband, baby daddy, anything like that? Because, obviously if the plug calls you, you're going to go get high. Is that something that he would come along with, or you just be like, hey, I'm going to go there and try to get some for the both of us? Or
there are multiple people that can tell you. And it's crazy because at the time I was kind of new to that whole thing. Mm-hmm. But my baby daddy, husband, whatever you would call him, was sending my pictures.
Oh, shit.
And I actually found that out by one of drug task force officers.
Wow.
Yeah. So
how old were you when that was happening? Like just 20s, early 20s?
Yeah, like 20s, 28, 30.
So like right in the middle.
Yeah.
So he was basically selling you out for drugs.
Yeah.
Like almost pimping you out in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
The whole time they thought they were talking to me, and so So yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, well, so you can play this game.
Yeah.
I can
Right.
get what I want and fuck you.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
So did you get in trouble a lot of times in those 10 years? Like, did you go to jail a lot?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
A lot?
I had some real anger issues.
How many times would you say in your span of doing drugs did you go to jail?
6, 8.
Did you go to jail for drugs or because you'd get in a domestic dispute or?
It was usually assault.
Mm.
And then I got put on probation. It was misdemeanor probation. I don't even remember what my charge was for. And I was high. I didn't want to show up. And that's all I had to do was go across the bridge and check in. That was it. They just wanted me to come sign a paper.
Right.
And I was high. I didn't want to go. So I went on the run and was on the run for a couple of years. And when they caught me, I had crack on me. So I caught an introduction charge.
Oof.
And
Yeah.
it was crazy because I thought I'd ate everything. I had no idea I even had that piece left. And it was stuck to the inside of my pants. And
damn.
yeah.
So you, when they pulled up on you, the cops, you disposed of it by eating it.
Yeah.
Did they take you to the hospital? Did they ever? You were just high as shit in jail, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because I actually lost my voice for like 2 weeks. I couldn't talk. Like I sounded.
I know how your voice gets.
Oh,
yeah.
It was crazy.
Damn. So, what was the longest that you served in jail?
It was that little stretch there, and I had to wait on criminal court, so I was there for like 8, 9 months. I was there for a minute.
So when you were in jail, do you think that's kind of what clicked? Like after
100%.
that, after you got out, did you try to remain sober? And
100%.
had you been sober from that day on? Moving forward? Okay.
No.
So you did,
along the way.
right, okay.
I did.
It happens every day.
But did something happen where you were like, oh my gosh, I have to get sober. I have to stop doing drugs.
Yeah.
What was the turning point for you?
My mama was dying. My kid's dad was dying. I had to live. I had to.
Yeah.
My kids had nobody else.
And how many kids do you have?
2.
2 kids.
That's exactly what happened.
And I lost custody of them. And granted, they didn't go to the state. They went to, Station went to her dad, and my mom had custody of my son. But I was there with them, but they weren't mine.
Right.
And that fucked me up. Like, it really messed me up. And I had no choice.
Yeah.
I had to get clean. I had to live. And I was at that point. You live or you die.
Well, I'm sure that.
And having your kids taken from you is like such a degrading, like.
And that's what I don't
feeling.
understand about some people is they lose their kids and they can keep going.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How do you live your best
You
life?
fix it.
Yeah. My brother has done the same. So he doesn't have his kids right now, but he's also not sober. So, that's. I'm sure your kids truly appreciate, and they may not know, right? Or they may know. Do your kids know your past? Good.
I've been very, very honest with my kids.
Do they remember anything along the way, or is it kind of just bits and pieces?
They remember everything horrible.
Mm-hmm.
They don't remember the mom that I was before my addiction.
Mm-hmm.
They don't remember the good mom, the mom that had her shit together.
Right.
That done everything right. They don't remember that.
Yeah.
They only remember the bad.
Well, and how old were they when it was bad?
My son, oh gosh, my daughter was probably 6, 7 when I really fell off. My son is 4 years older than her, so he was almost in his teens.
Yeah, so he probably remembers quite a bit more. Yeah. And to this day, is it still like, not that they throw it in your face, but is it still one of those things that it kind of gets brought up on occasion?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The hardest part of my journey has been rebuilding my trust back with my kids. That's 100% been the hardest part.
I got it.
Okay, you got it. Okay. Here. Hello.
Yeah, I feel like, and how do you ever get past that? Because they're always going to give you a hard time. I feel like my son is mad at me for choices I've made where I can't go back. And they're kids, it just sticks with them
It does.
It definitely does.
And it 100% engraves in them the type of person that they're going to become. You know, because looking back at my childhood, I did not have the idea of childhood. Like, I had a great life. I really did. I had a wonderful family that loved me. But we all grew up in separate homes, my brother and my sister. My sister was with our mother. My brother was with my grandmother and my great grandmother. And I was with my great aunt and uncle. And they become my mama and my daddy, you know, and drug addiction has always been a part of my family. My mother was an addict. My father was an addict. My aunts, my uncles. I came from a long line of addicts. And so when I did become a mom as a teenager, I promised myself I would never, ever put my kids through what I went through.
And break the cycle.
And although I had a wonderful life as a kid, I really did, I still had those questions like, why wasn't we enough? You know?
Or why was my mom like this?
Yeah. And I know that I was very loved. And I appreciate that she gave me to people that she knew was going to be able to take care of me, was the best for me. I appreciate that. But when I first became a mom, you know, I still wanted to be everything that I wanted her to be, that I needed her to be.
Yeah.
And I failed them, you know, and that sucks. And
No,
that's
you didn't.
very hard to forgive.
No.
I will say you have I was about to say that, very, very, very good kids. So I feel like you really did break the cycle.
Yeah, I don't think that, for one, everybody messes up in some way, shape, or form, right? Callie, I think you could speak on that too.
Absolutely.
You know, I was fortunate and my parents were not addicts. However, my dad was an alcoholic. So it's pretty much the same way. He gave it up for a little bit and you still look back and you question things, right? So I don't think that because you made your mistakes, that doesn't make you a bad parent. You're correcting your mistakes and you are,
and they see that.
Yeah, you're still to this day doing that. So as they get older, they're going to see it for what it is. It's not something that they're going to hold against you. I truly don't feel that way at all.
And I think they're proud of you. I think they see you. They might still give you a hard time every now and then, but it's not. They see you.
They're maturing.
Yeah, they are.
Because I need to be held accountable.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I do.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to ever forget the pain that I caused them.
Yeah.
Because I don't ever want to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a good thing that they do hold you accountable for that. But it's important for you to know that they're just doing that because they love you. They don't want to see you mess up. They don't want to go somewhere else. They don't want to be. I'm sure your son doesn't want to have to be taking care of his little sister and all that. So it is. I have no doubt it's hard for them and for you.